Welcome back everybody. So today I'm going to be finishing up the last big project of my Headless Horseman themed living room, and that is my head display. I've had this thought brewing around in my mind for some years. I wanted to have a whole shelf just full of heads in jars. As you can see, I've collected quite a few of them. I think I have about 15 of them actually, and I think it's going to be a show-stopping piece in my living room. The head in the jar is very simple. There are tutorials online how to do it. I'm not really going to go through it step by step exactly, but I'm just going to run you through how I did this head in a jar. We're going to make one or two together, just so you can kind of see, because there's some little tips and tricks that I learned just putting one together that they don't really show you on the websites, which is unfortunate. But it's kind of fun, and I love the way that this turned out. It's uber creepy, and I can't wait to see what they look like in my living room. Your first big hurdle that you're going to face in your head in a jar project is getting the images. So we attempted to make one of me, and Tom did this in just a couple of minutes online, so it still needs help. Again, we didn't put a whole lot of effort into this. There's a lot of Photoshop skills needed to this, which is a bit beyond me. But if you have some Photoshop skills, you can probably do this easily on your own. But if you don't, you can get someone like Tom to do it, or find some images online of people who probably put more than the 2.5 minutes it took Tom to just whip up mine real quick. So I found a couple of images online. To find 15 of them actually was a little bit of a challenge. So some of these were from other people's projects. Some of these were, like this is Dracula, classic monsters. People put them available online for free download, so I found some of those. Some of them might have been more just help myself to other people's images. So hopefully nobody watching is seeing their face going, heck, oh look, there's Justin Bieber looking a little worse for the wear. That's, I don't know, now we're getting into like some real people's images, but you can kind of see they're fun. And it is time to put them in jars. So you're going to need some jars. I found that the pickle jar works pretty well. Now these, you can get a jar like this of pickles at the grocery store for like $5-6, and you get to enjoy pickles, which is my favorite thing. And as you can see, it's my favorite thing. So I've collected quite a few of these. What we're going to need to do is remove the label. You'll also see, you probably can't because it's very light, there's a date there we're going to need to remove. We'll have to deal with the cap. There's another label on the back. But let's go ahead and first start with the front label. These things are really on there. Sometimes you'll get lucky, like I am right now, and it'll peel off. Wow, that one came off pretty easy. If it doesn't come off easy, got my heat gun. You can just heat it up for a couple of minutes and try and loosen up some of that glue, and maybe it'll come off a little bit easier. You could also try pouring some hot water in here to loosen it up. I don't know that that's really going to do anything nearly as effective as a heat gun though. So taking off the label, I've got a bit of residue still left there. So I am just going to take my rag, and I've got some just white distilled vinegar. Pour a little bit out, and then we're just going to take the vinegar and rub the glue. It's going to take a little bit. If you let it sit a little bit, it's going to come off a little bit easier. But if you're impatient like I am and just keep scrubbing, it's going to come off in just a moment. So let's get that glue off. Perfect. There we go. So I'm not going to deal with the back. Now I've actually done a few of these jars already, and this back label for some reason is like on with cement. There's no getting this off easily. But I figure now, if I'm going to be putting it on a shelf, you're never going to see that back label anyway. So I'm just going to leave it as it is, save myself some effort, not even bother dealing with that. But if I'm going to use this side as the front, there is this printed on label with the expiration date that doesn't just rub off. So we're going to need to take some isopropyl alcohol. And I suppose you could use like nail remover or whatnot. And then this will take that printing right off. So it took a little rubbing, but there we go, nice and clean jar. Of course, we don't want to have a pickle jar, so I am going to just paint the top of this black. I'm sure you could make it look a little spiffier somehow with some faux finishing for the jar, but I'm just going to use some simple black gloss acrylic paint with my paintbrush. And then I'm just going to paint this jar lid black. There we go. Now, I'm going to have this on a shelf where people aren't going to be getting too close to it. So I'm not going to, be perfect with this. In fact, I'm not going to do the under rim, which you can kind of see if you're up close looking at it from below. But again, I don't think anybody's going to see that. So I'm not going to put in the effort to get it perfect because I've got a bunch of these to go through. I will, however, give them both about 2 coats. And once we do that, it's going to look pretty nice and solid, like these. So here we have one that's been dried, and again, you can see kind of like that little yellow ring on the bottom. Not too worried about that. You can kind of see a little bit of the yellow label coming through, but overall it's pretty solid black. And that little bit that's coming through is giving it just a little bit of character, so I'm not too worried about it. Now that our jar is all ready to go, we need to prep the images. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this sort of monster mummy man. And I'm going to take my paper cutter and I'm just going to trim off the white borders so that that's not going to show up in the jar. Okay, and we can go ahead and test that in there now. He is in the jar. Put the top on. As you can see, it doesn't look bad. You do have this gap at the top. I did think of a couple ways that we can deal with that. Some of the tutorials online will suggest you put a wig in here, and especially if you had a more realistic looking face, you could have some of that hair draping over the front. That's going to give it a very realistic appearance. I have 15 of these jars to use. I don't have 15 wigs. Even if I did have a wig, I'm not sure I'd want to soak it in water for however long we're going to have this project up. So we're going to find another plan, which I thought I'm just going to use some creepy cloth. Maybe just drape it over the top, so it's kind of half hidden, kind of like I did with my guy over here, because some of them, if they don't sit well on the bottom too, you're going to want to drape the creepy cloth around the front. So we can kind of see here, if we're going to put water in there, sometimes they have a tendency to float up. So we're going to just need to mask that with some creepy cloth anyway. If you didn't need to do that, if you want to just leave it in a jar, sometimes you could decorate the top of the jar, like with one of these little plastic skulls. You can get a whole bucket of them from like Michael's very cheaply, and that's just going to give it an extra little adornment so it doesn't look like a pickle jar. Maybe it looks like some sort of apothecary jar. But the other option, of course, is maybe mask as much as we can with some spider webbing. We just put this not quite so lumpy. I'm not good at spider webbing, that's why I'm going to try and opt for the creepy cloth first, but we can do what we can to mask it with the spider webs. But I do think creepy cloth is going to be the best option, whether it be like my bloody rag creepy cloth or just a regular black one or gray like that one is there. There we go. Oops. That looks very creepy. So I can leave it like this, or we can fill it with water. Now to fill it with water, I had to do a little bit of a test. So this one has actually been filled now for well over a month. I started this project a very long time ago and then got distracted. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy back out. We can't just throw him in the water or he is going to, get ruined with the paper. So let me just take my little mat here. I'm just going to take regular old packing tape to laminate this page. You could go buy some laminating sheets, or if you're lucky and have a laminating machine, you could do that. Or you could take it to your copy supply store and they'll laminate it for you. But for me, the easiest option is just to use the packing tape and make our own lamination. So I'm just going to carefully tear off the strips. I'm going to leave a border around it so that we can seal it completely. And then I'm just going to keep on putting these strips on until the whole page is covered. Once the whole page is covered, I'm going to peel it up, flip it over, and tape the other side. Now we left all of this tape on the border, and of course all of the tape overlaps so that you're not leaving any paper gap at all. But when the tape sticks to the tape along the border, it should give it a nice seal. So I have my makeshift laminated page. As you can see, I have some tape overhanging each side. I'm just going to use my scissors and trim off that tape, but I'm going to leave, again, a little bit of a margin of tape around the entire page to help keep that seal. And there we go. You are going to want to make sure that all of that tape is very well stuck down so that no water is possibly going to seep to any of those gaps. And then once that is done, we can go ahead and pop it back into the jar. So here we go, our uber creepy head in a jar. Now this is what it would look like again without any liquid in it, but we're going to go ahead and give it that more laboratory effect with the mysterious liquid inside. And all we're going to do for that is add some water. All right, so here is our jar full of water. Obviously, it doesn't make too much of a difference until we add the food coloring to give it the mysterious appearance. So I don't know what kind of color might be best. I think with that one we used just a mix of greens. So turn this around so we can kind of see, put a little bit of yellow in this one and see how it looks. We'll just play around with it. I've got a bunch of these so it doesn't really matter. Now that's a very bright yellow. I think that's a little too bright. Let's maybe mix in a little bit of red. See what happens. Getting kind of an orangey color. Maybe a couple of drops of green. I think I do like the green color. All right, I'm kind of satisfied with that. It is a gross green color. That's perfect in my opinion. So let's go ahead and put the lid back on, turn it around, and it might take just a little bit. If that page has kind of adhered itself to the front, you know, you can pull it, adjust it, make sure some of that water gets in front of it so it's nice and creepy, and then kind of fill it out. Whoa, again, just be careful getting that water everywhere. All right, that is so gross and fun. If you are going to fill it out, use a stick to kind of work out some of those bubbles. I absolutely love how this turned out. This guy is uber creepy. I think the color of the liquid turned out absolutely perfect, and this is going to terrify any little children that happen to walk into my living room. So I can't wait to display this on my shelf. Of course, I've got so many more of these to get to, so I'm not going to get to show you that shelf in this video, but stay tuned to see my walkthrough, and you'll get to see the end result. And in fact, if you want to appear in the walkthrough and you do this project and you make your own head, send me a picture of it to my email in the link below, and I will pick one of you who sends me a picture, and I will put it in my display, and you'll see yourself in my walkthrough, immortalized forever, or as long as the channel lasts. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully, if a lot of you end up sending me some pictures, obviously I can't do them all. I'll pick one, but maybe you'll see yourself in my display. I hope so. So I can't wait to do that. Again, if you want to do this yourself with just other pictures, there are lots of them online to find. You just gotta do a little creative searching. But that'll do it for me for today. So I really appreciate you watching, and I can't wait to show you my living room when it is ready. So stay tuned for that. Until then, take care, Stay safe and happy haunting.